The greatest archaeological discoveries not only shed light on ancient civilizations, but also reveal to us the astonishing mysteries of the past. Underwater cities, mysterious artifacts, sunken ships with countless treasures, all of these are like bridges connecting the present with bygone eras. Research conducted in the depths of oceans and remote corners of the planet sometimes brings findings that baffle scientists, challenging conventional notions of history. On the southern coast of India, in the state of Tamil Nadu, lies the amazing city of Mahabalipuram, which in ancient times was the capital of the Pallava dynasty. Unique architectural monuments from the 7th–8th centuries have been preserved in this place to this day. For centuries, local residents had a legend about a complex of magnificent temples in Mahabalipuram known as the Seven Pagotas of Mahabalipuram. These temples were built by order of King Narasimhavarman I. The structures were renowned for their incredible beauty and impressive architecture. According to legend, the gods grew envious of the temple complex's splendor and sent a devastating tsunami upon the city. As a result of the natural disaster, 6 of the 7 temples were submerged underwater. Amazingly, the story of the 7 pagodas turned out to be more than just a legend. Thanks to a powerful tsunami that occurred in 2004, it was revealed that the temples really did exist. During the tsunami, local residents saw ruins hidden beneath the ocean waters. They reported their discovery to scientists. In 2005, a group of Indian and Japanese scientists conducted an underwater investigation off the coast of Mahabalipuram. At a depth of about 5 meters, they discovered fragments of one of the lost temples, its foundation, broken columns, and several sculptures. Further studies showed that 6 temples had been submerged approximately 200 years ago as a result of several powerful tsunamis, just as the legend described. Today, scientists continue exploring the surroundings of the discovery site in hopes of finding the remains of the other 5 temples and gaining more knowledge about the ancient culture and construction technologies of that era. In 2001, the Canadian research company Advanced Digital Communication shared news of its sensational discovery in the strait between the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, near the coast of the Cuban island of Guanahacabibes. They discovered mysterious structures at a depth of about 750 meters that resembled the ruins of an ancient city. The complex covers an area of 2 square kilometers. The discovery was made using sonar and an underwater robot equipped with a video camera. The structures found resembled pyramids made of massive granite blocks. According to researchers, these underwater objects may be submerged constructions created by the Olmecs, Aztecs, or Maya. However, scientists dispute this theory. Experts say that for such massive structures to be submerged to that depth naturally, at least 50,000 years must have passed. But as is known, no such advanced cultures capable of demonstrating such impressive architectural skills existed at that time. Scientists are currently studying this mysterious complex. Perhaps soon we will learn more about its origins, or it will join the list of humanity's unsolved mysteries. Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great, was one of the most important port cities of the ancient world. Located in the Nile Delta, it was the capital of Egypt under the Ptolemies and a center of international trade between East and West. A particularly famous location near the city was the royal quarter with Cleopatra's palace, the last ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty, located on the island of Antiyra. For over 1,000 years, this mighty structure was considered lost. Archaeologists had long been unable to find it because the ruins of the palace were hidden underwater. In 1992, during an expedition led by the famous underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio, a monumental discovery was made. On the seabed of the Mediterranean, his team uncovered a true underwater museum of antiquity, majestic statues of gods, ancient sphinxes, bas-reliefs with hieroglyphs, and other artifacts from the Ptolemaic era. A particularly valuable part of the massive find is the head of a statue believed by researchers to depict Caesarion, the son of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. The ruins of the palace ended up underwater as a result of a powerful earthquake that occurred in the year 365. Today, most of the artifacts recovered from the seabed are housed in the National Museum of Alexandria. Interestingly, not far from this site, the ancient city of Heracleion was also discovered. Near the coast of Belize lies one of the most incredible natural wonders of our planet, the Great Blue Hole. It is a massive circular sinkhole approximately 300 meters in diameter and over 120 meters deep. Through numerous studies, scientists have determined that the Great Blue Hole was formed during the last ice age. At that time, sea levels were significantly lower, and a giant limestone cave with impressive stalactites and stalagmites existed in this spot. As the glaciers began to melt, water gradually flooded the cave, causing its roof to collapse and creating the underwater abyss that still contains ancient stalactites to this day. For a long time, the Great Blue Hole remained largely unexplored despite its uniqueness. Everything changed in 1972, when the famous explorer Jacques-Yves Cousteau descended into it aboard his vessel Calypso and measured its depth. After that, scientists from around the world became interested in this natural wonder. Researchers discovered an incredible underwater world in the Blue Hole. Reef sharks, giant groupers, and many other species of fish and coral, rarely found elsewhere in the Caribbean, inhabit this place. The Great Blue Hole is also extremely popular among experienced divers. Its crystal clear water provides visibility up to 30 meters, allowing divers to fully enjoy the beauty of the underwater realm. The Bermuda Triangle, located in the Atlantic Ocean between Miami, the Bermuda and Bahama Islands, and San Juan, is known as one of the most mysterious places in the world. The history of strange and frightening incidents associated with the Bermuda Triangle began in 1964 when a U.S. magazine published an article by writer Vincent Gaddis titled "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle." Since then, the area has become associated with the unexplained disappearances of ships and planes, although tragic stories occurred there long before the provocative article appeared. For example, in 1925, the freighter Cotopaxi disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. In 1944, the ship Rubicon. In 1965, the fishing vessel Snowboy. And in 2015, the cargo ship El Faro. But perhaps the most famous case was the disappearance of Flight 19, which occurred on December 15, 1945. On that day, 5 U.S. Navy bombers and 1 rescue aircraft went missing. According to NOAA, more than 50 sea and air vessels have disappeared in this area since the beginning of the 20th century. Mystery enthusiasts explain these events by alien interference or the existence of a portal to a parallel reality. However, scientists believe that the Bermuda Triangle was deliberately popularized, and the causes of shipwrecks and air disasters are due to a number of factors, including the abundance of ocean reefs and shoals, extreme weather conditions, rogue waves, and navigation errors. In 2015, the Colombian authorities announced the discovery of a sunken vessel, the San Jose, in the country's territorial waters. The Spanish 60-gun galleon San Jose was launched in 1696. The ship was part of the Gold Fleet, and it regularly transported treasures collected by the Spanish from their South American colonies. On June 8, 1708, near the Colombian Baru Peninsula, the San Jose encountered an English squadron. As a result of the battle, the galleon sank. On board were about 600 people, of whom only 11 survived. It is believed that on that day, the ship was transporting over 11 million gold and silver coins and numerous precious ornaments. The total value of the cargo is estimated at $20 billion. For over 3 centuries, this legendary vessel was considered lost, though archaeologists and treasure hunters repeatedly tried to locate it. In the late 1970s, American financier Warren Stearns assembled a team to search for the San Jose. He signed an agreement with the Colombian authorities that entitled him to 50% of the treasure if the galleon was found. The authorities agreed to the deal, but when Stearns reported the discovery of the vessel in 1981, they terminated the contract, arguing that the shipwreck was located in the wrong place. Finally, in 2015, Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos announced that the galleon had been found using the Remus 6000 underwater vehicle. This news sparked disputes between several countries. Spain, Peru, and Bolivia now all claim the valuable cargo. In addition, treasure hunters from Warren Stearns' team filed a $10 billion lawsuit, claiming the vessel was found using their coordinates. In 2022, in the Indian Ocean at a depth of 1,143 meters, a mysterious incident occurred. A team of scientists was exploring the ocean depths using a remotely operated submersible. At some point, the vehicle detected movement. The scientists sent the submersible toward the object, hoping to discover a new, unknown species of marine animal. They were prepared to see anything except what the camera of the unmanned submersible actually captured. This mysterious black-colored creature resembled a hybrid of a squid and a jellyfish with rather short tentacles. The scientists had never seen anything like it before and were thrilled by their discovery. But then something strange and unexpected happened, which shocked and even frightened them. As the submersible began to approach the creature, it turned toward the equipment as if observing what would happen next. The closer the submersible came, the more frequently signal interference and control issues occurred. Then the creature changed its shape and began to emit a glow, after which it vanished. It is quite possible that the interference was caused by the gray depth, but scientists still cannot explain what happened, nor what the creature actually was, a marine animal or an alien. The video recording of the event has been verified, and it remains one of the most mysterious marine discoveries of recent years, still lacking scientific explanation. The highest point on our planet is Mount Everest, and the lowest is the trench known as the Mariana Trench. More precisely, its deepest part, called the Challenger Deep. Everest stands 8,848 meters tall, while the maximum depth of the Mariana Trench reaches nearly 11 kilometers. Thus, Mount Everest could easily fit inside the trench with more than 2 kilometers to spare. Now you can imagine just how deep this place is. The Mariana Trench is located in the western part of the Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Islands, from which it takes its name. For a long time, this area remained almost entirely unexplored due to the extreme conditions caused by its incredible depth. The pressure at the deepest point of the Mariana Trench is 100 times greater than at sea level. In addition, despite the relatively comfortable water temperature of 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, hydrothermal vents in the Challenger Deep emit streams of water with temperatures above 400 degrees Celsius. And of course, at such a depth, there is complete darkness. Modern submersibles have allowed scientists to peer into the deepest part of our planet. Imagine their astonishment when they discovered that life exists under these extreme conditions. Jellyfish and various fish live at depths of up to 100 meters. Octopuses and sponges dwell at depths of up to 4,000 meters, and at the fantastic depth of over 10,000 meters, single-celled organisms called xenophyophores thrive. Amazingly, only in the Challenger Deep do xenophyophores grow up to a record size of 10 centimeters. The Mariana Trench is an extraordinary place where, despite extreme conditions, life still persists. In the Lake District National Park in northern England lies the country's deepest lake, Wastwater. It reaches a depth of nearly 80 meters. This body of water is a popular spot among divers. In addition, the lake is known for an unusual underwater garden of gnomes located in one of Wastwater's deepest sections. The story of the underwater gnomes began long ago. One diver decided to make the spot more appealing and left a few garden gnome statues at the bottom. Others followed this tradition, and over time, a whimsical underwater park filled with charming sculptures was created. In the 1990s, during a dive to visit the gnomes, 2 inexperienced divers tragically lost their lives. As a result, English authorities decided to remove the park. Nevertheless, in 2005, garden gnomes began reappearing on the lake bed. Some experienced divers consider visiting the gnomes their hobby. They move the sculptures from place to place, and sometimes even take them on vacations to snap interesting photos. Despite the fun, diving instructors warn that visiting the underwater park is permitted only for experienced divers who must also follow safety rules while spending time at the dangerous depths of Wastwater Lake. The Roman Empire is known as one of the most developed and largest civilizations of the ancient world. Its achievements in architecture, engineering, law, and medicine had a tremendous impact on the development of all humanity. The Romans created a complex system of roads and aqueducts, as well as advanced methods of state governance and economic management. Their accomplishments in medicine were particularly impressive. Unfortunately, findings of ancient medicines are very rare, so each of them is of special interest to scientists. One of the most valuable discoveries related to ancient Roman medicine was made in the Gulf of Biminy, near the coast of Tuscany, Italy. On board a sunken ship over 2,200 years old, a box was found containing unusual cylindrical boxwood vials, in which an ancient analog of modern tablets was preserved. They are compressed discs with a diameter of 4 centimeters and a thickness of 1 centimeter, dark gray in color. These ancient medicines were used to treat eye diseases. The Romans called them collyrium. The tablets consist of 80% zinc carbonate with the addition of pine resin, olive oil, and beeswax. Ancient Roman doctors used these tablets for special procedures. They applied the healing discs to patients' eyes, securing them with linen cloth. This is evidenced by the found linen fibers and starch. Interestingly, zinc is still used in medicine today, particularly for the treatment of skin and eye diseases. Today, this valuable find is kept in the Archaeological Museum of Piombino in the province of Livorno. The Brinacle, or ice finger of death, is an astonishing natural phenomenon that forms beneath the Antarctic ice. The first Brinacle was discovered and described in the early 1960s. Since then, ice fingers have only been encountered a few times, but scientists have nonetheless managed to study this phenomenon in detail. Brinicles resemble underwater stalactites. They look like icicles growing from the ice sheet toward the ocean floor, but in cross-section it becomes clear that they are hollow tubes. The formation of the ice fingers of death requires specific conditions resulting from the interaction of sea ice and ocean water. Typically, this phenomenon occurs when seawater freezes, expelling salt and making the water beneath the ice more saline, denser, and colder. Gradually, droplets of this dense water freeze and sink downward, forming an icy tube filled with brine. These ice fingers earned their ominous name for a reason. Young brinicles pose no threat, but once they grow to gigantic sizes and reach the ocean floor, they begin to spread across it, freezing every living organism they encounter in their path. In 2012, in the Gulf of Mexico, in the southern part of the state of Veracruz, during underwater research, scientists discovered mysterious artifacts. Their uniqueness lies in their unusual shape. These objects strongly resemble corn cobs. The average length of the items is 8.5 centimeters, and they are made from speckled orange-brown and white jadeite. Although these artifacts are of special value, they raise many questions. To this day, scientists still cannot say for certain who created them and for what purpose these objects were used. Some experts believe that the jadeite items are associated with the religious rituals of the Maya culture. It is likely that they were used during sacrificial ceremonies and had a sacred meaning, since corn was the main source of food for the ancient indigenous peoples. It is not excluded that the jadeite cobs served as ritual objects during offerings to fertility gods. Dating of the artifacts showed that they were created about 2,700 years ago. The jadeite items are of particular value to scientists because previously no similar artifact had been discovered with such complexity in the manufacture of voluminous and detailed objects. In the azure waters of the Bahamas, near the Paradise Point Resort, lies the mysterious underwater structure known as the Biminy Road. The Biminy Road is a complex made up of stone blocks arranged in two parallel lines. It looks like a man-made pathway that stretches 500 meters in length and 90 meters in width. This appearance is what gave the complex its name. The Biminy Road is located at a depth of 3 to 9 meters. However, since the water in this region is especially clear and transparent, the complex is easily visible even from the surface of the sea. This mysterious site has sparked much debate. Geologists believe it was formed naturally, but some characteristics of the stone blocks contradict this hypothesis. Numerous studies of the complex revealed that the blocks consist of the rare mixture of siliceous shale and limestone, which are not naturally found in the Bahamas. Their estimated age ranges from 11 to 28,000 years. Interestingly, some blocks show signs of careful processing, including joints for connecting the structures. Additionally, their surfaces are so smooth that they appear to have been polished with special tools. Not far from the main road is another enigmatic object, a hook-shaped stone formation along with many other strange structures, including concentric circles and platforms. All of these findings cast doubt on the natural origin theory of the complex. Modern technology has given science new opportunities. With the help of autonomous underwater vehicles and deep-sea robots, scientists have been able to explore the most inaccessible and deepest corners of the oceans. Recently, an international team of researchers made a remarkable discovery in one of the 28 deep-sea trenches of the Pacific Ocean. Using the latest underwater vehicle equipped with a 3D scanning system and high-resolution cameras, scientists discovered a mysterious complex of unusual structures hidden at a depth of over 6 kilometers. The photographs clearly show strange formations with perfect shapes. Whether they are of natural origin or man-made remains a mystery. In the near future, several expeditions with state-of-the-art equipment will be sent to the site of this discovery. After these studies, it will become clearer what mysterious object is hiding in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. In the depths of various parts of the world's oceans lives an amazing creature, the ghost shark. The ghost shark belongs to the cartilaginous Chimaera group of fishes. Although these fish are widespread in many seas and oceans, humans encounter them very rarely as they dwell at great depths, up to 2,500 meters. Ghost sharks are relatively small in size. Their bodies range in length from 70 to 120 centimeters. A distinguishing feature of these fish is their large head, which accounts for more than 1/3 of their total length. Chimaeras also have relatively short, pointed snouts and large green eyes. On the underside of the snout is a sort of proboscis. This proboscis serves as a radar for the ghost sharks. Using it, they find food on the ocean floor by detecting the slightest changes in the electromagnetic field. Ghost sharks got their name due to their deep-sea habitat. Additionally, these fish move through the water by flapping their pectoral fins located on the sides of their bodies. As they swim, it creates the impression that they are flying like a ghost or butterfly. For this reason, ghost sharks are also sometimes called butterfly sharks. This species is one of the most ancient fish species still in existence today. The oldest fossil remains of their ancestors are over 30 million years old. Despite active fishing in their habitats, the population of these remarkable fish remains stable. However, in some countries, catching ghost sharks is prohibited. On April 4, 1900, during a seabed exploration near the island of Antiyra, a diver discovered the remains of an ancient ship. A year later, a mysterious device was recovered from the shipwreck, which was initially mistaken for a common ship's compass. For this reason, the artifact was forgotten. Later, in 1951, the object caught the attention of British historian Derek de Solla Price, who realized that this find was a true masterpiece of ancient engineering. Modern archaeologists managed to find many missing fragments of the Antiyra Mechanism. This allowed them to recreate a copy of the ingenious device and understand how it worked. The invention was a wooden box containing a complex system of 30 bronze gears with triangular teeth that worked with incredible precision. On the front panel were dials with indicators, and on the back, intricate spirals and scales for tracking astronomical events. Using the Antiyra mechanism, ancient scientists could monitor the movements of the Sun and Moon, as well as track the positions of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. In addition, the device could calculate the dates of 42 different events, including solar and lunar eclipses. The Antiyra mechanism, which is 2,200 years old, is impressive for the brilliance of its inventor, whose name, unfortunately, remains unknown. Today, the oldest known prototype of an analog computer is housed in the National Archaeological Museum of Athens, continuing to astonish researchers with its complexity and precision of design. The Saraso Sea was discovered by Christopher Columbus during his first expedition in 1492. It is located in the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean and represents a unique body of water with no shores of its own. Its boundaries are defined by 4 powerful currents circulating clockwise. Another fascinating feature of the Saraso Sea is the massive accumulation of floating brown algae called sargassum, which can reach lengths of up to 10 meters. This sea has always been known for its abundance of these algae, but in 2015, a record accumulation of sargassum formed in the area. The total length of the algae mat exceeded 8,000 kilometers, and its mass surpassed 9 million tons. By June 2010, the mass of algae had reached more than 20 million tons. Scientists have discovered that the cause of this rapid and uncontrolled growth of sargassum is the water circulation off the coast of West Africa. This circulation brought a vast amount of nutrients into the Saraso Sea, which triggered the algae bloom. At first, scientists feared that this phenomenon could negatively impact the sea's ecosystem. However, the floating forests became home to many marine creatures, including sea turtles, flying fish, and various species of sharks. Interestingly, for a long time, the Saraso Sea was compared to the Bermuda Triangle and was also considered a mystical place where ships disappeared. However, modern research has shown that the cause of shipwrecks was not mystical forces, but the sea's own characteristics, the lack of wind and the abundance of sargassum algae. Nature astonishes with its unusual creations, and one such wonder is underwater hydrothermal vents, located at a depth of about 2,500 meters near the coast of Ecuador, in close proximity to the underwater volcano Los Huellos East. Hydrothermal vents were discovered by accident during a large-scale exploration of the Pacific Ocean depths using modern underwater vehicles. This discovery caused great excitement among scientists, as the area of more than 9 square kilometers hosts a true oasis with hydrothermal fields. The vents in this region form black smokers, which are cone-shaped structures that eject mineral-rich jets of water with temperatures exceeding 300 degrees Celsius. Some of these structures rise more than 15 meters above the seafloor. All of this is truly impressive, but the most amazing thing about this discovery is that despite the great depth and extreme conditions, these hydrothermal fields form a unique ecosystem. Research has shown that a rich animal life exists in this area. Among the marine inhabitants living in the vents, scientists discovered tube worms, mollusks, and crustaceans that exist due to chemosynthesis, a process by which organisms obtain energy not from sunlight, but from chemical reactions. In addition, 15 previously unknown species of living organisms were discovered in this place. Scientists are currently continuing to study these unique hydrothermal fields. In the state of Texas, near the town of Wimberley, lies one of the most dangerous places in the world, Jacob's Well. This natural wonder is a deep karst cave located in the bed of Cypress Creek, which flows into the Blanco River. The well was formed by underground springs that carved a massive hole in the rock. Today, this place attracts thousands of tourists with its unique features. The water in the well is so clear that from above, it looks like a true abyss, although its actual depth is only 10 meters. However, Jacob's Well only seems safe. At its bottom lies an entire system of underwater caves. The first cave is about 7 meters in diameter. From there, a narrow passage leads to a second cave that descends another 20-25 meters. The next dark passage leads to the third cave. The fourth cave is the most unexplored and dangerous, as its floor is covered with limestone deposits that cloud the water when disturbed, completely eliminating visibility. How many more caves extend from the well remains a mystery, as to date, it has only been explored to a depth of 40 meters. Jacob's Well's underwater caves attract the attention of diving enthusiasts. While anyone who can swim is allowed to jump into the well, exploring the caves is permitted only for experienced divers. Several tragedies have occurred at this location, yet divers continue to explore the fascinating world of the deep underwater caves. In 2023, Canadian scientists were conducting deep-sea research in the Pacific Ocean near the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. The study of this area of the ocean was carried out using a modern robot capable of operating at great depths. This device is not only able to scan the area, but also to transmit images and analyze the properties of found objects. Thanks to this robot, researchers discovered an unusual object at a depth of 3,300 meters attached to a stone. It had a spherical shape and a beautiful golden color. The diameter of the object was about 10 centimeters, and on one side, there was a larger and it's just the larger. The discovery puzzled the researchers, so they decided to retrieve the mysterious sphere from the water. This was accomplished using a special vacuum tool equipped on the underwater robot. When the sphere was in the hands of the scientists, they began to study it, but they had never encountered anything like it before. To this day, experts cannot identify the find. One version suggests that the sphere may be the egg of an unknown marine creature, but in that case, the question remained as to why no other eggs were found nearby, since marine creatures usually do not lay eggs alone. To identify the sphere, scientists need to find several more similar objects. Unfortunately, this has not happened yet, but perhaps in the near future, researchers will get lucky and we will be able to find out to whom these golden eggs belong. And that's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your engagement is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.